Alright, side plank crunch. So for this one, all we're gonna do here is scale it to your ability level. I'm not great at this exercise because I don't do it very much because I skip it half the time because I'm lazy. But it is super important to do. Helps work the lateral hip, works QL. QL is super important. A lot of people have like back issues. QL is super weak in a lot of this population. So like I said, if you got a lot of like back, hip pain, sciatica type stuff, you want to work on like core stability, core strength, don't skip this exercise. It's one of those exercises like when it's kind of one of those like when I get lazy with my training, I kind of skip what I consider to be the quote unquote boring exercises. This stuff I don't find to be very fun. And I start having aches, pains, things start hurting, and it's like, all those half a dozen or so like little exercises that I skip half the time, like I need to start doing those again. But anyways, regardless, all you're gonna do with these is you're just gonna be here. Different people, so you can either stack your feet this way or stack your feet this way. I wouldn't overthink it. Just whatever feels most comfortable for you. What I do is I like to take this hip and I like to just sag this hip down and I let my spine through here, and then just kind of bend this way. I let all this stuff kind of bow out and then I crunch it up. So bow out here, crunch it up. So in terms of progressing the exercise, you would just take this support thing. So whether you're holding onto a bench or whatever, you're just gonna bring this closer to the ground. So if I was, going around, I bring it down to here, eventually, you're here, you're lowering down, and you're cutting up, down, up. If you progress past that point, I would elevate the feet. So you have your arm kind of on the floor, elevate your feet up on like a bench or something, so that your body's kind of more like level. And then same thing, and then you can always add additional weight to it, get like a dumbbell or like a plate, just kind of holding on your hip while you go through the exercise. So if this was a dumbbell. So you would just hold it here, come down, come up. And that's all you got for side plank crunch. All right, so what are the other exercises we can do for the obliques? So we covered the side plank crunch. In addition to that, if you have access to one of these like 30 or 45-degree machines, what you can do is you can anchor your feet down here on the foot plate, and then you can kind of extend out this way and then crunch up. So what that'll look like, so I'll kind of center myself on the pad here. I like to put the top leg towards the front. If you want to switch your feet up the other way, feel free to. Not a big deal. But in general, you want to come down, you want to make sure you're bending through the spine. You kind of let your hip kind of pop up towards the ceiling, and then you're coming up. So down, and then come up. That's all that is for that exercise. If you want to scale it, you can always hold the weight, at your head or whatever, make it more difficult. So that's just another variation you can do. Personally, I like that variation better than the side plank crunch, but pick the version that in accordance with the equipment you have access to and personal preference.